This week is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, a proclamation made by President Joe Biden as the number of people who suffer from the disease rises substantially.
It's much more than anorexia and bulimia. Binge eating disorder is one of the most common of all, one that's driven by experts say a Last Supper mentality.
Texas Today's Barry Roy is in our newsroom this morning with more on how we can help those who may be suffering. Good morning to you, Barry.
Yeah, good morning to you both. The numbers are staggering, especially in the shadow of COVID, but working together and looking for warning signs can help us all create a healthier relationship with food.
About 10% of the general population struggles with some sort of eating disorder.
Kat Geiger of Thrive Wellness Waco says now is as important as ever to help those who struggle with an eating disorder.
Eating disorders are very isolative struggles. We don't talk about them. Even if somebody presents to a therapist for anxiety or depression or an adjustment struggle, like having a hard time being in college for the first time, it's just unlikely, unless you're really looking for it, that you're going to identify that this person has an eating disorder.
It's really just about having an unnatural...
This week is National Eating Disorder Awareness Week, a proclamation made by the White House and a chance to draw attention to one of the most serious mental health conditions impacting the lives of Americans and their families.
Since the pandemic, we have seen droves, especially of adolescents coming in and suffering.
Calls on the National Eating Disorder Hotline up more than 70% since the pandemic began, and hospitalizations for eating disorders has doubled during that same time period. Some warning signs to be aware of if you feel someone you know or love is suffering from an eating disorder. 1, a big change in weight or body shape. 2, cutting food out completely. 3, if someone begins to obsess about working off a meal or if they disappear right away.
Stop moralizing food. Stop saying, look at you being so good. Stop saying, ooh, I'm being bad today. I had a cookie. Stop moralizing a particular body shape.
Geiger says we are all in this together and wants those to know who may be suffering in silence they are never alone. And for those struggling, she says the best way to create a healthy relationship with food, learn to trust yourself.
Embrace intuitive eating. Listen to your body. Eat when you're hungry. Stop when you're full. Trust that your body is going to tell you the types of foods that you need.
Chris and Daisha, Kat also tells me that eating disorders is not just something that teenage girls suffer with. She says it is very common in adults. She also says men also struggle as well. Staying vigilant and mindful will go a long way in being able to help each other.
All right, Barry, thank you. And if you are interested in learning more about eating disorders, 6 News anchor Leslie Draffin took a deep dive into the dangers of diet culture. You can find her 5-part series on our YouTube page.